Nigeria will be a better place. I set fire and set the pace. Okay, listen, hey, I got a vision, working for the federation. See you coming, so we walking to a better nation. Pay attention, we have formation, time to explore and be imagination. Good water, sound education, FIRS, tax innovation. You gotta say yes, no hesitation. Baba God don't bless, no limitation. Good people, great nation, love for our country, no infatuation. Doing what I wanna do, making it what you wanna do, and whatever I'm coming through is good satisfaction. Good operation, free from election. Real white green, so I rap for my nation. I got swag, no imitation. No, I'm so flattered, I live federation.
I see it coming. Nigeria will be a better place. Only if we walk with FRS, that means we should pay our tax.
I see it coming. I see it coming. Nigeria will be a better place. Did I hear somebody say amen to that? Those were members of the Students Advocate for Tax, SAT, funded by the Federal Inland Revenue Service. The idea is to catch them young, to grow a new crop of voluntary and willing taxpayers to move Nigeria forward. And in catching them young, these young ones also play the role of reminding the adults, the taxpayers, of the need to be good citizens of this great country, Nigeria. And that is one of the several ways in which the Federal Revenue Service propagates the gospel of voluntary tax compliance. There are TV advertisements, radio jingles, radio programs, radio drama pieces, television programs like this program, Tax Matters, which you are watching now, workshops and seminars, all in a bid to persuade.
We're going to spend the next sort of 30-40 minutes talking about capital gains tax and avoidance and how to counter it. CGT was introduced in 1967 in Nigeria. It was introduced a couple of years before that in the UK. But actually CGT, or capital gains tax, was introduced itself as an anti-avoidance measure. At the time when it was being introduced across the Commonwealth, what was happening was that the income tax rates were extremely high, up to 60%. So what people were doing was they were converting their income into capital because capital gains tax was 10%. You still have that split now between 30%, 25% for PIT and CGT. So one of the things that people try to do when you have an effective tax regime is to convert their income into capital. And the number of things that people tried to do were almost ridiculous.
Stamp duty is a tax raised by requiring stamps sold by the government to be affixed to the signature documents, these forming part of the perpetual revenue. Because of the way this tax was introduced, you discover that many people may almost make a mistake of thinking that just getting stamps and putting them on documents. That is one of the ways of implementing the Stamp Duty Act. Very, very far from it. You see that what is collected here is to the government, and it's not for moving documents, moving paper from one place to the other, delivering them to the postal system.
That was a workshop organized by the Field Operations, Processes and Programs Department, FOPP for short, of the Federal Revenue Service, way back on the 30th of September 2011 in Ikeja in Lagos, to sensitize taxpayers on capital gains tax, stamp duties, and personal income tax, among others. And you see, workshops and seminars of this nature continue to be held on a regular basis. But when persuasion fails, when public enlightenment and tax education efforts fail to deliver the taxes, tax authorities all over the world resort to what they call tax enforcement. And that precisely was what happened in Abuja between Wednesday the 21st and Thursday the 22nd of December 2011, when the Investigation, Intelligence and Enforcement Department of the Federal Revenue Service went all out to collect what is due to all of us from recalcitrant taxpayers. And both government agencies and private sector organizations were involved. First port of call was the corporate offices of the Federal Capital Development Authority in Gariki, Abuja.
we have been communicating with you. For us to avoid this type of situation, we said there's a need for us to either have one, evidence of the payment, or the payment is effected within 7 days. Nice. And the 7 days elapsed on the 15th of December, and today is 21st. Therefore, it's a follow-up to that letter, that in addition to all those correspondences and visits that we have made to your organization.
We have a central account in FCT, which is operated by the Treasury Department, which is under the Minister's Office of all the MDS, FCDA, Secretariats, Water Board, and the rest are all operated by the Treasury.
Thank you very much. Well, like I said earlier on,
yes,
this exercise started, like you have also acknowledged, since May this year. And we've been meeting, we've been corresponding, we've been doing all sorts of things to get payment effected. And mindfully that this payment is not your tax. Is money you deducted on behalf of FIRS.
I've seen it. I've seen the details here.
If it's something that you are taking from somebody in custody just to give over, then I don't see any reason why. And this is something that's spread since 2006.
At the end of the brief encounter, Engineer Ismail accompanied the enforcement team to their offices for further discussion. Next port of call was the Land Administration Department of the Federal Capital Territory, Abuja, otherwise known as AGIS, Abuja Geographic Information Systems. At the end of the visit to the two organizations, Tax Matters spoke to Mr. A.J. Bamidele.
Thank you very much. The conduct of this exercise is basically to cover what the MDA is owing us. Incidentally, it's an organization we have been relating with over the years. And we commenced this investigative exercise in May this year, trying to establish exactly what the organization is owing us. And they have been in phases. The first phase of it, we liaise with them, they're still having some outstanding. And the second phase of it, which prompted this exercise, is in respect of about 28 billion, which is outstanding. And all effort to get them to pay or show us evidence of payment have proved abortive. You know what is even significant is that this is not their own taxes. This is money that they withheld from some people, which they ought to have remitted to FIRS. It's just a signal to all other MDs that we are starting with this because this is the bulk, the major one. And since we are starting with the major one, we are definitely visiting all other MDs to be sure that we recover whatever is due from any of the MDs. For ages, it's not a payment per se that we are pursuing them for. We require information to execute our own assignment, and we need them to provide us some information, and in compliance with the provisions of our extant law, they are duty bound to provide such information, and our going there is to get them to provide those information.
So the fact finding on the ground today,
yes.
What is the next line of action?
Now the first stage is to get them on board, one. The next one is that we, if they fail to, for us to get the actual result, which is payment, because that's the ultimate. Then the next one is to go and get them in other lines. We have other enforcement steps that we could take. One of them is appointing banks as agents, putting lien on the account, asking the accountant general to withdraw at source, and so many other provisions are there which we could still embark on. But this is just the first stage of enforcement, and we believe they will not allow it to go to the other levels.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
The Federal Inland Revenue Service introduces the tax card to make all tax payment easy for you. Just follow these 7 easy steps. Obtain your taxpayer identification number, TIN, for free at any FIRS office. Get your tax card from your bank. Log on to www.firsonline.com, then register to obtain a password and access the payment process pages. Fill your TIN number, tax type you're paying, amount payable, and period of payment. Confirm the entries on your transaction. Then print your e-ticket and present at any FIRS office as an evidence of tax paid. It's that simple. For more information, visit www.firs.gov.ng or any FIRS office close to you. FIRS. It pays to pay your tax.
The following day, Thursday, 22nd of December 2011, the enforcement team moved over to the hospitality industry, where the operators are not only obliged to pay taxes in their own right, but to also act as tax collecting agents on behalf of government. In all places visited, the story was the same. Statement of mission, examination of records, and where necessary, taking away of personnel.
We need the records of the income you make here daily.
Okay, that is okay. They are okay.
No, good.
They are okay. Look at that of June.
When did you start from? Let us see the start, commencement.
And this is the May, I will tell you that I started from. This is the total for revenue, and this is for bar, and this is for restaurant.
This is for this year?
Yes, sir, for May. I'm just starting from the May. I entered, then I will count.
Before you came, we were told that you commenced business August last year.
And you say it was May last year.
Until when you brought this record that you want to change your...
Where is that of May last year?
This is the May last year, sir.
No, this is 2011.
It's 2011.
Okay, is this year that they gave to me? This year I started.
Where is the one for last year?
That is with cashier. That one is cashier.
Call him to come. I think we have to. Where's the manager?
Manager, come.
I think we have to call the cashier too.
Sir? Let the cashier come.
It's okay.
For the meeting.
We will go with you so that we'll go through this one. Yes, the cashier will.
Okay, we on our own, we are police officers. So the two of you will come with us. We are police officers. So you also.
So you go with us. When we go there, when we finish with your records, we'll give you your books back. Do you know what to pay us?
No, they show. I saw one of the paper when we were having the management.
Wait, for example, this is your bill. If anybody checking in, add the 5% of it to it. Nobody is telling you to pay anything out of this 2,000. How do you think that one is high? It's not your money.
We're not even collecting. We're not.
If you don't collect, no, you cannot.
That's
be
from Nessie. From Nessie, that's what he said.
Okay, maybe it's the government. Government say this is what is operational. You say this is what you want to do.
There's a shock to government.
Because we are more than government.
There's a shock to the more than government. You know, people, the environment here.
Forget about it, but I live here. I live in this environment.
And that's what I'm saying. The moment you add anything outside what you have already presented to them, from this January 1st, that's 2012,
forget about what
they will include VAT.
Forget about what you're saying. Who is not aware of VAT before coming to sleep here?
The boss of this gentleman quickly surfaced and met the enforcement team in the premises of another hotel in the neighborhood.
They have arrested me by Federal Indian Revenue
Enforcement Unit. I'm not eating government money, and government will not eat my money. So I'm not going to, prove stubborn or do any other thing. Even if anytime I can, this is what they give me.
Who gave you this to use to go and pay the tax?
Go and pay. But maybe either today or tomorrow, I will any amount, I will go and deposit.
Not any amount. Go and bring the records. Go and bring the records of what you are making on a daily basis, month by month. We'll look at it. Nobody will give you any ambiguous figure of money to go and pay. No, we are not out for that. If you don't make any business, we don't ask you to go and borrow money to go and pay. No. It's based on what you have made. For example, you make if it is only 5,000 in a month, you get from lodging. 5% of that is VAT, and they pay you pay for the staff. You pay them.
No, sir.
If you know, then what is holding you? You don't need an auditor to do this. You don't need an auditor to do this.
What the leader of the enforcement team is simply saying is that for value-added tax, VAT, for withholding tax, and for pay-as-you-earn payee on staff emoluments, the business owner is not the taxpayer. Is simply acting as an agent of collection on behalf of government. It is not his or our money. For value-added tax, for example, in the case of hotels, it is the lodgers and the guests who pay on the room rates. If you award contracts and you have to make payment, you deduct withholding tax and remit to government. The same thing goes for pay-as-you-earn. When you deduct taxes, personal income tax, from the salaries and wages of your workers, on a monthly basis, you remit it to the appropriate State Board of Internal Revenue, or in the case of the Federal Capital Territory, to the Federal Inland Revenue Service. And then this hotel.
We are from the Federal Inland Revenue Service, and we are here to see the evidence of the remittances of the taxes.
Okay.
VAT, company's income tax, payee, withholding tax, and the others.
Okay, we just went to pay 3 years tax about 3 days ago, 4 days ago. But
do you have the receipt here?
The manager has the receipt. The manager is not around.
Do you remember the type of tax you went to pay?
Yes.
Which one?
I don't know how to call it. I sent him to go and to pay.
Have you registered with the Federal Inland Revenue Service?
Yeah, we have done so. That's where we generated a thing for us and went to pay.
Where's your manager?
He went out now.
Because we want to see all these things, because the information I have about you is that you refuse to register after several visits here, several letters and reminders.
That is not correct. It's
People say seeing is believing.
Yes.
Let us see the level of compliance.
I'm a retired staff. I'm a pensioner. I can't be using my pension to subsidize
Baba, you are giving a different meaning to our visit here. We are not telling you to go and use your money to pay tax. The name of this place is what? Is the money? If nobody comes to lodge here in a month or you don't get any money, nobody has to pay anything. Nobody has to go and pay from your pocket. No.
But the way the demand is getting...
The demand, which demand now? It is the people coming here to lodge that they will pay the tax. You are only to collect from them. It is where you fail.
You are collecting on behalf.
You are collecting on behalf of government. It is only when you fail to collect. And if you collect and you refuse to remit, that is where you create problem for yourself. So you are not the one paying, no. If you are a restaurant, it is people coming to eat there that pay. If you have lodging, it is people who are coming to lodge here and pay you that pay, not you. And what they are paying is different from your own income. I don't want. No, forget about closing it.
I'm closing it because
no, wait.
I'm tired.
One thing you should know: whether I close it or no, don't close it. What you have got from here before closing it, you
must pay it, even if you close it.
So my appeal to you, I don't want you to be manhandled, and I don't want any embarrassment for you. Please, in your own interest, please kindly.
We also want to share with you the encounter at this other hotel.
Do you have a restaurant here? Plus lodging. How many rooms do you have? Let us see your register for lodging where you record them. For example, yesterday, maybe about 9 people lodged here. You keep the record that today, this is how much we have from lodging. Leave message for your manager and your MD at local job that the Federal Land Revenue Service officers are here, enforcement unit, and they have followed them to our office. That if they come, they should bring other records of income for everything you do here, so that to join you in our office.
Do you understand? We are going with you now.
You are saying no.
They are not begging you.
We're not begging you. I would say we are going with you.
It's not a request.
We are going with you now.
You say you are not going.
Say no. How can I go with you people? What have I done that this one? You see because of this. Am I
because super not paying tax.
I'm a staff.
What is the surrender? Yeah?
What have I done? That is not.
When you want to compound the case, say you want to be stubborn, why do you the way you regret your life? Please.
In sharp contrast to what has transpired in all the places shown so far, what happened at this hotel gave room for cheer.
We are from the Federal Inland Revenue Service. Our people have visited you and they told you what to do. We want to confirm whether you are complied with what they told you. That is in terms of paying our taxes, VAT, pay, companies income tax, withholding tax, if any, and the rest.
Anyway, we started operating this place in May. In May, you can see the service here is just skeletal for now. If you go through our books here, there is no time we'll have more than 2 guests. I understand what you're talking about.
It's okay.
Yeah, I have paid my tax. I have my tax clearance that is current.
It's okay. Can we have the receipts of the payment and your tax clearance? Bring them, let us sign it.
When we opened this place, I applied for VAT registration.
Okay. This is April.
Yeah. As soon as we opened.
It's okay. Can we have the records of your sales or the income since you commence business?
Let me have that register. Your own register. Yeah. Okay. So, if you look at your accommodation on a daily basis, that's like 12.
Where is the other number? This is, you can see November here.
Where is
the other one?
The other used one.
Yes, the old one, please.
So my table, we'll bring it.
Arama?
This is a summary of...
It, however, didn't all go smoothly. There was an issue on pay as you earn deductions.
This deduction is for what?
It's for shortage at the bar.
Okay, shortage. What about the tax?
We don't deduct tax.
Okay, you take that one and do bonus for them. One thing about that, I think I'm happy you left the service. When you're in service, even if a cleaner, that you pay even if it's 5 naira a month, the tax was saying that pay as you earn. As we are here, our taxes cannot be the same. It depends on what you earn. And even if your money is so small that the tax rate you have nothing to pay, you pay what we call minimum tax. So that there's nobody, if you earn any income, but that's 1 naira. You have to pay the tax.
The Abuja enforcement exercise was hugely successful. Apart from the salutary effect that it had on the psyche of the visited organizations, we can also assure you that since that time, tax liabilities have been agreed upon, competitions have been made, and the relevant integrated tax offices, ITOs, of the Federal Revenue Service have been mandated to issue assessment to those concerned organizations, and they have started paying. We also know that having seen this on tax matters, you are also shaken. So, do you want the taxman to visit you in this manner and take you or one of the members of staff in your company away? No, of course you don't. If you don't, what do? Tomorrow morning, go to the Federal Revenue Service and register as a VAT collecting agent, because every business owner, whether limited liability company or enterprise, one-man business, you have business to do with the Federal Inland Revenue Service, because you are obliged to collect value-added tax and remit on a monthly basis into the coffers of the government through the FIRS. Of course, if you are in Abuja, Federal Capital Territory, for all matters, you deal with the Federal Inland Revenue Service for value-added tax, for personal income tax, capital gains tax, withholding tax, and the rest of them. If you award a contract, you are obliged to withholding tax at source. If that contractor is an individual, you remit to the State Board of Internal Revenue. If it is a limited liability company, you remit to the Federal Revenue Service. If it is in the Federal Capital Territory, you remit to the Federal Revenue Service. So, don't do what I won't do. Go and register, and please join us next week on this same station, same day of the week, same time of the day, for a fresh episode of Tax Matters. Thank you for watching.